I just realized I made an unintentional rhyme. I'll leave it in the video.
Hi everyone.
Hey everyone, in this video I will teach you how to play Monopoly Diced. I know I'm gonna have a hard time opening this compartment, and I'll show you why. As you can see, there's this weird latch down there, and two of them popped up there, so this might take a few seconds. I spoke too soon. I'm all set. So anyways, this is what you get. You get the Monopoly game board. You get instructions, a notepad. You get 4 houses right here, and you get 11 dice. So this is how you set up the game. Take the game board, place it in the middle so everyone can reach it. Take the pile of dice and set it next to the game board, and do the same for the houses. Then you're going to give each player a sheet of the notepad. Each player is going to write down their name plus the target score. Your goal is to reach $15,000. For a shorter game, you'll play to $10,000, and for a longer game, you'll play to $25,000, or you can make a custom amount. Whatever amount you've chosen, write it down to where it says target score. Then the youngest player goes first, and turn order goes clockwise direction. Please stay tuned near the end of this video, as I will do a sample turn on how this game works. But for now, let's get to the details. This symbol is the emphasis of this entire game, the cop that represents go to jail. At any time amongst all of the rolls on your turn, if you roll all 3 cops, your turn is over and you've lost all the money that you have banked for that turn. You can even roll all 3 cops on the first roll of your turn, but the odds of that are fairly slim, so don't let that daunt or scare you. You have to roll the dice at least 1 time on your turn, because, if you don't roll, you can't win, right? So on your turn, you can roll as many times as you want, but because of the dangers of the cop, the key is to know when to stop. I just realized I made an unintentional rhyme. I'll leave it in the video, but anyways, at any time during your turn, you can stop and end your turn. Write down all of the money that you have banked onto your notepad, then you're going to pass all the dice to the player on your left. Let's go over the other symbols on the dice. These are the property symbols. They come in various colors and dollar amounts. You have to roll enough dice on your turn to complete a color group. Completed color groups are worth more money according to what is shown on the game board. For example, if you can roll all 3 pink properties and fill the squares as shown, then you'll have earned $1,500 so far. Railroads and utilities are just as similar to the color properties. If you can get a complete set, you will earn more money. This is blank. It's worth nothing and you can't use it, so nothing happens if you roll this. The chance symbol. If you roll this, you don't draw any chance cards because there's none in this game, of course. But there's only 2 of these in this game, and they're wild. If you roll one, you can place it on the game board as a substitute for any color group. But you can only use 1 chance per group. So as shown here, this is not allowed. You have to do this instead. This right here is allowed. And oh yeah, if you end your turn and a chance symbol is part of an incomplete color group, then this is worth no value. And the manual doesn't state whether or not that you can use these chances to go with railroads and utilities. But because that in the original games, you can buy and collect rent from these just like you would with the normal properties, And because that both railroads and utilities are shown on this board with the colors gray and black respectively, I'm going to go on a whim and say that you can use chances with railroads and utilities. I found further proof. According to the scoring on the instruction manual, it says here, and I quote, "For each complete color group, add the amount shown on the board for that group. See the chart below." And if you look at the chart, it's on there, so it counts as a complete color group, both for the railroads and the utilities. So yes, you can use chance on railroads and utilities. The last symbol needs discussion, a green arrow. This is the go symbol. If you roll this on your turn, you'll write down $200 on your notepad, but that is temporary. Then you have to take this die and place it back into your rolls because of two reasons. One, there is no spot for the green arrow on the game board. Because it's the go symbol, it would probably go right here if there was, but there's not. And the reason why there's no spot for the green arrow is because of reason number 2. This is the only green arrow in the entire game, so it's quite rare to roll. And it just so happens that this arrow is on the same die as the cop. So if some player were to remove this die after rolling the green arrow, then it would be impossible for that player to roll all 3 cops, which is cheating. It really is. So that's why if you roll this, you put it back into your roll so you can roll it again. But here's a good thing. If you can roll this more than once on a turn, for each one that you roll, you will continue to write down $200 on your notepad. But remember, if you roll all 3 cops and you lose all your money, for every $200 that you've written from the green arrows, you're going to have to scratch those off because you don't get those at all. But if you end your turn and bank your money and you have $200 written on your notepad because of this, then that amount is permanent. There is something that you are allowed to do in this game. After you place your necessary dice on the game board and before you make your next roll, you are allowed to examine any of the dice that you have left for your next roll. This is key to looking for certain properties that you want to go for. This next part is crucial. If you place any dice on the game board, you cannot remove it for the rest of your turn after you made your next roll. It is permanent. I'm going to give you a really good scenario here. So let's say I made a roll and I got this, I got this, and I got this. Then I made my next roll. Now these 3 dice are locked in place for the rest of my turn. I cannot remove or move them. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to go for the most richest property right down here. If I can just get one more dark blue property, I can get 3,500 bucks. So I'm going to examine all of my remaining dice and look for the blue property, and uh-oh, what's this? I don't have it. Just so you know, there's only 2 of these dark blue properties in the entire game. So where is the other one? It's right there. And maybe I could just use the chance symbols instead, right? Well, there's one of them. And oh boy, there's the other one. Now I just screwed myself in this scenario, and now I can't complete this property down here. So think very carefully of what you want to do with the dice that you just rolled and what you want to place on the game board. Don't screw yourself like I did. So as a recap, whenever you want to quit rolling the dice, you may end your turn, bank whatever money you just earned by writing it on your notepad, then pass all the dice to the player on your left. And any money that you've written on your notepad and you have banked, it is not lost for the rest of the game. So for example, let's say that I got all 4 of the railroad properties and I got myself 2,500 bucks, and I'm going to call the turn good right there. So I'm going to write $2,500 on the notepad. And on my next turn, I keep rolling and uh-oh, I got all 3 cops, so I get no money for the turn. But the $2,500 that I got on the previous turn is not lost. Again, it stays there, on my notepad. So you can approach this game in any way. You can be like a turtle and take just one roll and earn very little money as you can, but it's almost certain that you're not going to lose everything and go to jail, so your earnings going to be very little, but you'll get to the goal eventually. Or you could be like a bull in a china shop and just keep on rolling until you're down to the last 1 or 2 dice and go for mega bucks. But it's almost certain you're gonna go to jail and lose everything on every turn. Earn your money as you see fit. I'm almost done the video and yay! I have a complete colored group on my turn. So on your turn, if you can get a complete colored group, and if you want to keep rolling on the same turn, then for the rest of that turn, you will add this to your dice roll. The house die. Now you'll be able to collect houses and even the elusively rare hotel. This is gonna be a little weird when I say this, but you know how railroads and utilities are not technically properties. You wouldn't want to build a house or a hotel on some railroads just to have a train run it right over. But you're not buying any of this stuff to try to collect rent, you're just trying to make money by rolling dice. And these two are considered as complete colored groups according to the manual. So yeah, if any one of these two sets of properties becomes completed on your turn as your first set, then you can add the house die to your rolls. There are 4 unique symbols on the house die. The first one is just an ordinary house. This appears 3 times on the die, so it's a 50-50 chance of rolling it. If you roll the house symbol on your turn, take one of the houses from the middle pile and place it in front of you, so now you have it in your possession. If there are no houses left to collect when you roll the house symbol, too bad, you don't get any houses. When you decide to quit your turn and stop rolling, if you have 1 or more houses in your possession, each house is worth $1,000. Write it down on your notepad. So you're probably wondering, how am I supposed to get a house for myself? How can another player lose any of their houses? Well, there is one way a player can lose a house, and if you're guessing, nope, it is not by going to jail. According to the manual, when you go to jail on your turn and you lose all the money, it doesn't state anywhere that you lose houses as well. So if you do go to jail and get all 3 cops on your turn, and you have any houses in your possession, you get to keep the houses, but you don't get the $1,000 for each one. So you're probably wondering, how do you lose houses? It's from this. The broken house symbol. It only appears once on the die. If a player rolls the broken house, and they have 1 or more houses in their possession, they lose that house and place it back into the pile. So in a way, for a player to get themselves a house, when there is no houses left in the pile, they have to wait for another player to roll the broken house symbol, place it back into the pile, and then when your turn comes around and you're lucky enough to roll the house symbol, then you can claim the house for yourself. This symbol also appears once on the die. This is the get out of jail free symbol. If you roll this, and you have any cops on the board, remove one from the board. This symbol right here could give you an everlasting amount of rolls for your turn, if you're lucky enough. And finally, the hotel. There's only one of these on this die. If you roll it, you get nothing, unless you own all 4 houses, which is very rare and very hard to do. But if you can pull it off, you get $5,000. Write it down on your notepad, but that amount is temporary until you decide to stop rolling. And in that case, the amount then becomes permanent. Now you're probably asking, can you score $5,000 from a hotel roll more than once on your same turn? Yes, you can. However, I don't recommend that you do so, because you risk losing everything on that turn for each roll that you do. And also, you could end up rolling a broken house and losing one of your houses, preventing you from getting $5,000 again until you get that house back. But you could also be lucky enough to roll this, which extends your turn a little bit and makes your rolls a little bit safer. And then maybe you could also roll that hotel symbol once again if you do own all 4 houses and get $5,000 again. It can happen. And you're also wondering, where's the hotel piece? There's none. It's not needed. Once you stop rolling, add all the money that you just earned on that turn to your notepad according to the scoring page on the manual. For each complete color group, you add the amount shown on the board for that group according to the chart. Take for example, if you have a completed group for the orange properties, even though they all add up to $600, you instead get $1,800 and not $600. If you have any incomplete groups, you choose the one that has the highest value and you add the value on each die to your score. You can only use one incomplete group for each turn. Take for example, let's say your highest valued incomplete group would be the red ones, and you have 2 of them. You add them both up and you get $500 added to your notepad. And remember, if you have a chance symbol as part of an incomplete group, that chance symbol is worth nothing. And for each house that you have, add $1,000 to your notepad. The first player to reach the target score wins the game. And that is how you play Monopoly Diced. That is a lot to take in, I know. That is why right now I'm going to do a sample turn just to show you how it's done. So the first thing you do, of course, is you take the house die and you set it aside along with the houses. You take all of the remaining 10 dice here and you're ready to go. Let's see how well I do. Well, not really good roll. I got 2 cops. 1 more and I'm out. This is nothing. I got 3 railroads. Let's see. I'll put the railroads up here. Okay, let's see if there's any other railroads anywhere. This one has the railroad, so I'm gonna try for that. Right now, I could stop right now if I want to, and I can cash in on the 3 railroads, which would be 200, 200, and 200 for $600. However, I'm gonna keep going, even though I have 2 cops. And guess what? I just rolled the 3rd cop, so I only got to roll twice, and I lost everything. I'm gonna go again and see if I can do a little bit better. Okay, no cops. No, not much better at all. And this die over here rolled all the way over, which is a chance, by the way. So I'll take the 2 cops once again. Okay, let's see. This is what I can do. I can take the 50. Actually, I'm gonna go for the utilities. So I'm gonna take the waterworks, and then the wild, and fill in. So now I have a complete group. It's worth $800, and because I have a completed group, I get to add this to my roll. Now, what else can I do? I'll do this. There's a green one there. Yeah, I think one of the green ones are in there, so it's worth a lot, so I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, so I rolled a house. I get to add this. Now I have that. I guess I will do. Let's see here. There's a 50, so I'm gonna take the 50 here and go for another 50 from this die. And let's get another cop. Okay, so 1 more go. I know I can do a little bit better. Let's just take it from the top again, as I see a cat hair over there. Anyways, put this aside. And here we go. Okay, no cops. Now that's better. It's all clear. And ooh, I got some pink. Actually, I see a blue. And wait, I got a wild too. Look at that. So now I can add the house again. What else can I do? Can I go for the pink ones? Let me take a look at this one. There is a pink, so I could go for that. that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go for the pink ones too. Okay, so far I have 35 for the completed blue, and I only have 2 of the pinks, so that would be 300. So if I stop now, it would be 3,500 plus 300 for $3,800. But I'm gonna keep going. See if I can get the other pink property. Still no cops. I got a house, so I'm gonna add a house. And I got 2 of these. Is any pink ones on there? This one does. How about this one? No, it doesn't. Well, I don't know which one this was on, and I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna use it anyways. So, does this have one green? It does. I'm gonna go for the green ones then. I'm not even sure if these ones, if both of these were green, but I don't care. And I got one of these too, so just pretend I have $200 on the side. So, and I just got another house, so add a house. Okay. I don't have to get the $200 I just got from the green arrow. Still no cops, which is amazing. Now I just rolled the hotel, but I don't get the $5,000 because I only have 2 of the 4 houses, and I didn't get anything for that. I'd like to get the green. So, hey, let's keep going. See if we get that green. There it is. And I got a house, so I got 3 houses. I got a cop though, so I can put that right there. So this is where I am right now. I got $3,500 for a complete blue group. I got another $3,000 for a complete green group for $6,500 total. I have 2 of these for $300, so that's $6,800. Plus, I have the $200 from the arrow, so that's $7,000. And if I stop now, I get $1,000 for each house for another $3,000. So that's $10,000 if I stop right now. Or I could keep rolling and get another house, add it to my repertoire right down here, and then maybe go for a hotel. So I decided that I'm going to stop it right there and take the $10,000, and I'll write it down on my notepad. So there you go. That's pretty much how Monopoly Dice works. Now, I do have one little problem that I do want to address, and it's shown on the game board. And it has something to do with the 3 cops on the game board. This is my concern. Let's say I'm playing a game and I have 2 cops on the board. And it just so happens that I rolled the 3rd one and I lost all my money for that turn. Why put in the effort to place this die on the 3rd spot when I'm just going to give all the dice to the player on my left? So what I'm trying to say is, there should not be 3 spots for these cops on the game board. There should be 2. A good analogy of this is baseball, where the current team that goes up to bat can score as many runs as they can for the current inning until they get 3 outs. But if you look at the scoreboard at a baseball game, you want to know how many little indicators or lights are next to the outs? 2. If none of the lights are on, then the current team that's up to bat have 0 outs. If one of those lights are on, they have 1 out. And if both lights are on, they have 2 outs. Once both of those lights are on, then they're just 1 out away from switching positions with the opposing team, and then both little indicators next to the outs are removed and cleared from the scoreboard. There is no need to have a 3rd light or indicator next to the outs because it will never turn on. Case in point, there should only be 2 here. And if both of these are filled, as shown like this, and just say that there is no 3rd spot, then this is a psychological message telling you, be careful. 1 more cop, and you're out for the turn. But this is just my 2 cents. And that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. And don't forget to check out my gaming channel, Markis P Gaming, for video game Let's Play content. I'll see you later, but until then, like always, take care.